Welcome to my channel. What if I told you that speaking English fluently is not only for native speakers, or for people who went to top schools, or for those who are naturally good at languages? What if I told you that yes, you can speak English confidently, clearly, and fluently? And no, I'm not talking about learning for 10 years. I'm not talking about memorizing 10,000 words or reading grammar books every night. I'm talking about simple, real steps that anyone can follow, steps that actually work. The truth is, most learners make the same mistakes. They study English for years, but still feel nervous when speaking. They understand English, but can't speak it fluently. They know grammar, but forget words when they talk. It feels frustrating, right? Maybe you felt like that too. But here's the good news. It's not your fault. You don't need a perfect memory. You don't need to be born in an English-speaking country. You just need the right method. In this video, I will show you 7 easy steps that will help you speak English naturally and with confidence. These are the same steps I've used with my students for more than 25 years, and they work. These are not boring textbook rules. These are real strategies that will change the way you learn English forever. So don't skip ahead. Don't leave halfway. Every second in this video is important. One step builds on the next. One small change could unlock your fluency. Trust me, this could be the video that finally helps you speak the way you've always wanted to. Let's begin your journey to confident English together. Let's start. Chapter 1. Step 1 and 2. Build the foundation. Let's begin at the beginning with the foundation. Because learning to speak English is a bit like building a house. What happens if you build the walls before the floor? Or if you try to put the roof on first? The house will fall down. That's what happens when learners jump to speaking without first building a strong base. So before we talk about grammar, vocabulary, or even speaking, we need to build that base. Step 1 is listening. And yes, this is the most important step. Many students come to me and say, "Teacher, I want to speak better English. I need to practice speaking." And that's true. But I always ask one question first. How much English do you listen to every day? And usually, the answer is not much. That's the problem. If your ears don't hear English often, your mouth can't speak it well. Think about how babies learn to speak. A baby listens for 1 full year before saying even one word. Just listening. Every day, they hear their parents, their brothers and sisters, the TV, the radio, and after many months of listening, suddenly they say, "Mama." They say, "Dada." And then they start speaking more and more. It's the same with you. Your brain needs to listen to English, real English, to learn the patterns, the rhythm, the sounds, the way words connect. You don't need to understand every word. You don't need to translate. Just listen. The understanding will come. So here's what I want you to do. Start with just 5 minutes a day. Listen to something in English, but not too difficult. A short YouTube video, a children's story, a slow English podcast, or even your favorite English song. And don't listen one time. Listen again and again. Your brain needs repetition to learn the music of English. Now, let's go to step 2, shadowing. This step is simple, but very powerful. Shadowing means you listen to a sentence in English and then immediately repeat it out loud, exactly like the speaker. Not thinking, not writing, not translating. Just copying, like a shadow. You don't need to understand every word. You just need to repeat what you hear. Why is this so powerful? Because you are training your brain and your mouth to work together the same way native speakers do. You learn the rhythm of the sentence, the intonation, that's the music of the voice, and the connection between words. This helps your speaking sound more natural. Let me give you an example. I'll say a simple sentence, and I want you to say it after me. Ready? I don't know. Now you try. Say it out loud. Not, I do not know. That's too slow. Listen again. I don't know. Notice how the words connect? It sounds like, I didn't know. That's how people really speak. This is why shadowing is so useful. It teaches you the real way people talk, not just how words are written on paper. So, how can you do shadowing at home? Easy. Find a short video in English 1 or 2 minutes long. Listen to one sentence. Pause the video. Repeat the sentence out loud, trying to sound exactly like the speaker. Then play the next sentence and repeat. You can do this with interviews, podcasts, movies, or YouTube lessons. Even cartoons work. Now, you might feel shy or awkward at first. That's okay. Everyone feels that way in the beginning. You're not used to hearing your voice in English. But the more you do it, the more comfortable it feels. The more you copy real English, the faster your speaking improves. Also, remember, your goal is fluency, not perfection. You don't need to sound like a British or American actor. You just need to speak clearly and naturally. Fluency means you can express your ideas without stopping or translating in your head. Shadowing helps you do that. Let's try a quick 10-second shadowing exercise together right now. I'll say a sentence. You repeat after me. Ready? I'm going to the store. Want anything? Say it with me. Again, I'm going to the store. Want anything? Did you notice how the words connect? Going to becomes gonna. This is very common in real conversation. And now you just said a natural sentence in fluent English. That's progress. So to review, step 1, listen to English every day, even just 5 minutes. Step 2, shadow what you hear. Copy it. Say it out loud. These 2 steps may look small, but they are the base of everything. They train your ears. They train your mouth. They teach you the rhythm of real English. Without them, speaking is difficult. But with them, speaking becomes easier, faster, and more natural. You don't need perfect grammar to start. You don't need a big vocabulary. You just need to listen and copy. That's how you build the foundation. Are you ready to go to the next level? Then let's move on to Chapter 2, where we'll learn how to speak every day and how to think in English. Yes, really, let's go. Chapter 2, Step 3 and 4. Speak every day and think in English. So now you're doing a great job. You're listening every day. You're shadowing. You're getting used to the sounds of English. That's a strong foundation. But now we come to something that many learners fear speaking. I understand. Speaking is difficult. You worry about mistakes. You worry about how you sound. You don't feel ready. But let me tell you a secret. You will never feel ready. There is no perfect time to start speaking. That's why step 3 is speak every single day. Yes, every day. Now, you might say, but I don't have anyone to speak with. That's okay. You can speak with yourself. You can speak into your phone. You can even talk to a mirror. It may feel strange in the beginning, but it works. The more your mouth practices speaking, the easier it gets. Imagine this. You go to the gym once a month. Will you get stronger? Probably not. But if you go every day, even for 10 minutes, your body changes. Speaking English works the same way. You must use your mouth. You must speak words, make mistakes, fix them, and keep going. Start small. Every morning, say something in English. Just one sentence. For example, today is sunny. Or, I have a lot of work. Don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about long sentences. Just open your mouth and speak. If you speak one sentence today, maybe tomorrow you can say 2, then 5, then 10. Over time, your confidence will grow. You can also describe things around you. Look at your cup and say, "This is my coffee." Look at your clothes and say, "I'm wearing a blue shirt." These are simple, easy sentences, but they train your brain to think and speak in English. Which brings us to step 4, think in English. This is one of the most powerful skills for fluency, but most students don't do it. Why? Because they are used to thinking in their own language. Then they try to translate every word into English. That's slow. That's stressful. That's why when someone asks you a question in English, your brain goes, "Wait, how do I say this?" And then silence. You pause. You freeze. But here's the good news. Your brain can learn to think in English. You can teach it. You just have to start small. You don't need to think about politics or science in English. You can start with your normal, everyday life. For example, you wake up in the morning, think, "I am brushing my teeth." Then, "I am making tea." Later, "I am going to work." That's it. You don't need to say these sentences out loud. Just think them. Think in short, simple English sentences throughout your day. You can also try something I call the 1-minute English mind game. Set a timer for 1 minute, then look around your room. Try to describe everything you see in English in your mind. For example, there's a chair. It's brown. I see a book. It's on the table. You are not writing. You are not speaking. You are just thinking in English. Why does this work so well? Because it removes the translation process. When you stop translating, your speaking becomes faster. You don't have to search for the right words, they just come. That's what fluent speakers do. They think in English. You can too. Top moment spike. Let's try a quick challenge together right now. Just 15 seconds. I'll show you 3 simple objects. You can imagine them if you're just listening. A red apple, a black backpack, a window with rain. Now describe them in English in your mind quickly. No translation, just English. 5-second pause. Ready? Let's go. 10-second thinking time. Done? Great job. That's thinking in English. You just trained your brain to work faster in English, and that's fluency. Let me tell you something important. You don't need big, complex sentences to become fluent. You don't need to sound like a native speaker. You just need to speak often and think in English every day. That's how real fluency happens, not from memorizing grammar rules or passing tests. Even if you're shy, even if you feel nervous, even if you think, "My English is bad," it's okay. Everyone starts at 0. But the people who succeed are the ones who practice a little bit every day. So, to review, step 3, speak every day. Don't wait. Speak to yourself. Speak about your day. Step 4, think in English. Start small. Describe your world with simple sentences in your mind. These 2 steps will change everything. Your English will feel more natural. Your words will come more quickly. And soon, very soon, you'll start to feel fluent. Are you ready for the next step? In Chapter 3, we'll learn how to speak like real people, not textbook robots, and how to get feedback that actually helps you grow. Let's keep going. Chapter 3, Step 5 and 6. Learn real English and get feedback. Now that you're listening, shadowing, speaking, and even thinking in English, you're already doing better than most learners. But now we need to make sure you're learning the right kind of English, because this next step can make a big difference in how fast you become fluent. Step 5 is learn real English. What do I mean by real? Well, a lot of learners are still using old textbooks. These books have long grammar explanations, strange dialogues, and sentences that don't sound natural. Have you ever read something like, "How do you do?" or "It is a fine day, isn't it?" Yes, they're correct, but no one says that anymore. Not in normal conversation. So, what should you learn instead? You should learn real English, the kind people use every day. When someone walks into a coffee shop, they don't say, "May I please have a cup of coffee?" They say, "Can I get a coffee?" When someone wants to relax, they don't say, "I am engaging in leisure." They say, "I'm just chilling." Real English is short, casual, and modern. It's not perfect grammar all the time. It's the way friends speak, the way people talk at work, the way people send texts. And if you want to speak fluently, you need to understand and use that kind of English, not textbook English from 20 years ago. Now, you may ask, where can I learn real English? The answer is, real English is everywhere. You just have to know where to look. Start with the things you already enjoy. Podcasts, especially those made for English learners or casual conversations. Movies and TV shows with real, everyday dialogue. YouTube channels like this one where the English is natural, clear, and modern. Comics or web stories simple, real life stories with dialogue. Short video apps like TikTok or Instagram where people speak fast, real English. And here's something important. Don't try to understand everything. In real English, people use slang, contractions, and casual grammar. That's normal. You don't need to understand every word. Focus on the feeling of the sentence, the tone, and the phrases they repeat again and again. Let me give you a quick example. Top, moment, spike. I'll say two versions of a sentence. You tell me which one sounds more natural. Version 1. Would you mind if I accompanied you to the cinema this evening? Version 2. Want to go to the movies tonight? Which one do you think is better for a real conversation? Of course, version 2. That's how friends talk. That's how you should talk too. So here's your goal for this week. Listen to 5 minutes of real English every day. Write down 3 short phrases that you hear often. Then try using them in your own sentences. That's how you grow, phrase by phrase. And now we come to step 6. Get feedback. This one is powerful, and most learners skip it. You see, practicing alone is good. Speaking to yourself, thinking in English, even writing it all helps. But sometimes you're making the same small mistakes again and again, and you don't even know it. That's where feedback comes in. Imagine this. You say a sentence like, "He go to school every day." You don't feel anything is wrong. You keep saying it like that. But a teacher or a fluent speaker will say, it's he goes to school, not he go. That's one small fix, but it makes your English better forever. Feedback doesn't have to be scary. It's not about feeling bad. It's about growing. Every time someone corrects you, your English improves a little bit more. Now, you might ask, where can I get feedback? Here are a few easy options. A teacher or tutor online or in person. A language partner, someone who wants to learn your language and speaks English. Apps like HelloTalk, Speaky, or italki connect with native speakers. Record yourself speaking, then compare it with native speakers. Comment sections and language forums. Ask questions and get corrections. You don't need to get feedback every day. Even once or twice a week is great. Ask someone, does this sound natural? Or how do I say this better? Most people are happy to help. Also, don't just focus on grammar mistakes. Ask for feedback on pronunciation, tone, and word choice. That's how you start sounding more fluent, not just more correct. Let me tell you a quick story. One of my students, Ahmed, spoke English every day by himself for 6 months. He was improving, but one day I listened to him speak and said, "You always say, 'I very like it.' Just change it to, 'I really like it.'" One small change, and suddenly his sentences sounded more natural. That's the power of feedback. So let's review. Step 5. Learn real English, not textbook English. Focus on casual, natural phrases. Step 6. Get feedback from others. Even small corrections can help you improve faster. These steps will make your English feel real. Not like school English, not like exam English, but the kind of English you can use with friends, at work, while traveling anywhere. And don't worry if your English isn't perfect yet. Fluency is a journey. You're already on the right path. Now, get ready because in Chapter 4, we'll talk about the final and most important step: how to stay consistent and confident even when you feel stuck. Let's finish strong. Let's keep going. Chapter 4, Step 7. Stay consistent and confident. Now we come to the final step. Step 7. Stay consistent and confident. This step is different from the others. It's not about grammar. It's not about vocabulary. It's not even about pronunciation. This step is about something more important: your mindset. Let me be honest with you. Learning English is not one big event. You don't wake up one day and suddenly speak fluently. It doesn't happen like that. Real fluency comes from small steps every day. That's the truth. 5 minutes of listening today, 10 minutes of speaking tomorrow, one new phrase the next day, reading a paragraph before bed, saying one sentence in the morning. It doesn't need to be big, it just needs to be consistent. The problem is, most learners start strong, but then they stop. They study for 2 weeks, then take a break. And when they try to come back, it feels difficult again. Their confidence drops. Their words feel slow. They think, maybe I'm not good at English. But that's not true. They just lost momentum. Learning a language is like pushing a bicycle up a hill. At the beginning, it feels hard. You use a lot of energy. But if you stop halfway, what happens? The bike rolls back down. You have to push it all over again. But if you keep going slowly, step by step, suddenly you reach the top. And then the bike moves forward by itself. It becomes easier. That's what consistency does. Now, let's talk about confidence. Many learners believe that confidence comes after fluency. They think, when I speak perfect English, then I will feel confident. But the truth is the opposite. Confidence comes first. You don't need perfect English to feel confident. You need confidence to practice, to speak, and to grow. Here's something to remember. Even native English speakers make mistakes. Yes, all the time. They forget words. They say things like, he don't know, or I seen that movie. These are grammar mistakes, but they still speak. They don't stop and say, oh no, I made a mistake. I will never speak again. No, they keep going. You should too. When you speak English, don't think, what if I make a mistake? Think, I'm communicating, I'm trying, I'm learning. That's what really matters. People don't care if your grammar is perfect, but they will listen if you speak with energy, with clarity, and with confidence. Top moment spike. Let me share a true story with you. One of my students, her name is Sarah, was from a small town. She studied English in school but never spoke it. She thought her English was not good enough. But one day, she saw a job posting for a hotel receptionist in her city. The job required English. She almost didn't apply, but she remembered something I told her. Your English doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to work. So she applied. She prepared 5 common interview questions in English. She practiced in front of a mirror. She spoke slowly, clearly. She made a few grammar mistakes, but she smiled, and she didn't stop speaking. Guess what? She got the job. The manager told her, your English is not perfect, but you spoke with confidence. That's what we need. Now she uses English every day. She welcomes guests from all over the world. She learns new words on the job. Her confidence has grown, and so has her fluency. What does this story teach us? Confidence is not about perfection. Confidence comes from action. If you speak, even with mistakes, you win. So, how do you stay consistent and confident? Here are a few small things you can do. Set a tiny goal every day. One phrase, one sentence, one video. That's enough. Celebrate your progress. Did you speak today? That's a win. Track your journey. Keep a notebook or make short videos of your speaking. You'll be surprised how much you improve. Talk to yourself with kindness. Don't say, I'm bad at English. Say, I'm learning. I'm growing. Make mistakes proudly. Every mistake is proof that you are trying, and that means everything. Let me tell you something from my heart. After 25 years of teaching English, I can tell you, the students who succeed are not the smartest. They are not the ones with the best grammar. They are the ones who show up every day and keep speaking no matter what. So let's review. Step 7. Stay consistent small steps every day. Step 7. Speak with confidence. Mistakes are okay. Keep going. You've now learned the 7 steps to speak English fluently and confidently. These steps are simple, but they work. They work for students, for workers, for travelers, for anyone who wants to speak English clearly. So now you know the 7 easy steps to speak English fluently and confidently. These steps are simple but powerful, and they work. Always remember, fluency is not about being perfect. It's not about knowing every word in the dictionary. It's about showing up, speaking up, and making small improvements every single day. You don't need to wait until you feel ready. You just need to start. If this video helped you, please click the like button. It shows us that you enjoy this kind of content and want more. Share it with a friend or classmate who's also learning English learning together. Makes it easier. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I upload videos like this every week to help you improve your English the natural way, step by step. And finally, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which step are you going to start today? Is it listening, shadowing, thinking in English? Let me know. I'll be reading and replying to your answers. Keep learning, keep speaking, and remember, you can do this. I'm here to help you every step of the way. See you in the next video.